came into this town a few years ago, just about 11 years ago, and a friend of mine tried to introduce me to something that I didn't really understand. By the time we came here 11 years ago, the smartphones we have now were not really like this smart. You could only do those dramas on BlackBerry. How many of you remember those? Yes. And so it caused me to explain one or two things to me. We were offering for a breakthrough, a particular breakthrough, and somehow the breakthrough came from two angles. I never touched anything related to, let's say, 5 million. Never. But God so gracious, I've touched 1 or 2 million in Benway, but I've never touched money to, let's say, have 5 million. If I should say, if I have 5 billion in this my life, I will never look for money. It's a lie. It's a lie. If you are in that shoe, I'm telling you that it's a lie. So when we got that money, he brought up this idea and explained a few things to me. He said, if you, he called me to his house, saying, man of God, I want you to put this money into so, they explained it to me. I said, I was listening to you, somebody I respect a lot. So you know this type of respect you have for somebody, when the person is speaking, you don't really buy it, but you just say, you shake your head. I kept shaking my head all through. Never really ready to buy the idea. How can you tell me to take 5 million and put it to somewhere I don't know? They say Bitcoin. I should put, he was advising 3 million, saying you put his coin. When you put it, after a while, this he kept explaining. In fact, 5 minutes of our talk, I lost interest. I was just sitting down there drinking the juice and shaking my head. But I refused to. You can never be above what you know. You stop at where you know and reach. That's why people pay heavily for knowledge. I started to listen to this guy, but it didn't work out. All I knew was that my father used to work with Bank of the North. I was a driver. And he used to say whenever he becomes a great man, he has money, he will buy Benway Links car and put in Benway Links. So that was all was around my head. So when I got 5-6 million, I said no, I should do what my father used to say. The script. So I learned my father's script because that is what I know. So I put my money into the so-called Benway Links. And I saw this. I bought 2 new Sharon. Those cars they call Sharon. Then 1 million could give you a clean grade. So I bought 1.2 and the other one was 1 million. Registered, did everything, put in everything and put it inside to be sure that there was no excuse. Try to kill every excuse. That was when I got so much more excuse. So this my friend invested into that same Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin was nothing. We were buying it at so small amount of money. How many dollars? So he was able to buy 596 Bitcoins. One man. I didn't do it. I was taught to what I know. I put my own money in Benway Links. Every day I'll call, what's going on? What's going on? Then I started seeing some changes around this, my friend. Things were changing. Things were changing. And he didn't tell me again because he knew that I ignored his advice. You ignore my advice. I don't have time for you. This is not by force.
That's true.
So he left me. And then I swallowed my pride to go back again. I said, Oga, what is going on? Because of one particular day he came in with the Benz that confused me seriously. I was still struggling with my Sharon. Then I tried to find out what's the issue. He said, man, but I told you this thing. You told me you would do it. You didn't do it. So do I kill myself? So by the time he was telling me about this Bitcoin, the thing has skyrocketed. By this time, Bitcoin was now 5,000 US dollars for one. I'm not a careless person. Also I decided to pick 5 Bitcoins at the time he was telling me. 5,000 for one. I picked the bitcoins. My wife, I remember, was shaking like this. You love. Why must you buy 5? Why 1? I said no. What's the plan for 5?
He's satisfied with late.
Yes. Because my wife will keep asking, where is the money? Do you really know where the money in your bank is? You only see a lot. Do you know how this phone is working? Sometimes you want to know everything. How you call somebody and they connect to the internet to connect to another person to reach there? You don't know. All you know, you have something on your hand. You may call, leave the one you don't know. You mustn't know everything. So when we want to know everything, how does it this, you mix out some certain things. So we bought the Bitcoin. And unfortunately thing that happened to us, as we bought the Bitcoin is not something you buy, you are rushing. As we bought it, 2 weeks after, it started dropping down. But high blood pressure increased, blah, blah, blah. My wife, I stopped talking to my wife about because $1,000 became $4,000. So I stopped talking to my wife because I discovered that she would come and fend with me here. After you lost $5,000 in 1 week. So the man just said, say you say this money is not in hurry, but maybe now what are you talking about? I said, okay, sorry, sir. So I left the money. It was not anything. Came back to 4,500, came back to 5,000, came back to 6,000, came back to 8,000. I was by this time telling my wife, are you see what's going on? So 8,000, that means I had 3,000 times $5. Came down to 10,000. By the time it was 10,000, I said, no, let me test this thing. That was when I removed 2 of the Bitcoins and sold. That was about the time I bought my house in River Park. That was about the time I bought my house, around that time. I thought I would be able to fix that house.
It's a beautiful house.
I thought I would be able to fix, my calculation was I would fix that house with 10 million. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I started staying that place 5 years ago. 10 million could not. I picked 2 of those my Bitcoin. I did 1 or 2 repairs. When the thing was becoming too sweet, I was not very patient. I waited again. Climbed to another of the Bitcoin, pull it out. It came down again to 8,000. It goes like this. It's sweet like this. Well, it takes a lot of patience to invest. It takes a lot of patience to invest. So finally, let me leave that part. While I was in the estate, I know how much the estate is costing. Because to rent a house in my estate is about 4.5 now. My type of house. There's no way you can, even 4 million, you can never get it. So it was not like that then. I saw this man in the estate, and everything will pass like this. So I said, no, if this man is staying in this estate, what is making him to stay here? Because I know him as a very small boy. A young man, we're all young people, small children. So I am very open. I like to meet new minds. I want to bullshit anything small child or what? What are you talking about? Somebody knows something, who go to him and learn something. What are you talking small child? So I went to him. I said, Oga, what are you doing here? He said, what are you doing here too? We don't laugh and smile. You are here. My house is just behind this phone. We laugh, we show inspiration ourselves. So I went to go and find out. Ashe, he was doing this same business I was doing in a higher level. So I swallowed my pride. I said, Oga, please, come. Let me hear from what you are doing. He came to the house that day. And I called a few of my friends. I have people who believe in me. No, trust is wealth. If you are somebody who is not reliable, people, you know that you are losing a lot. All the things I'm trying to do is build integrity. Integrity is money, don't know. It's real money. If you don't have integrity, nobody follow you. Your words are not strong. So because of integrity, I had a service substantial people that came around to pay attention. And I listened to this man. I'll listen to him, I'll look at the shoe, I'll listen. One of my friends told me that, my brother, I didn't really listen to him, it's just the shoe that made me to try it.